you gotta have like a point for the strings to attach to, like a bridge kind of thing. You have the resonating hole. Not where the tuning, where the strings resonate. So like 25.5 inches from this point all the way up to here. Part's gonna be like the tuning part. What I do is, instead of like just drilling holes, is I just take this hole punch, and you can just put it on top of the metal on like a piece of wood or something, and hammer down, and it knocks out these holes pretty easily. Cut the, it doesn't cut the wires or anything. And then I just used a spade bit. I think it's a 1-inch spade bit or something. And I drilled a couple of holes, 3 actually, and then just this thing looks like trash, I realize, but that's the way it's gonna be. And I'm not, this never was going to be something that was gonna look perfect, but if you're following this video as like a tutorial of some form, be my guest if you have like jack planes and stuff to get all the transitions correct, and if you have the proper types of materials for it, you can make probably a pretty decent guitar thing with this method. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way, so I'm just gonna do this for a little bit more. See how things go. Yeah. So for this part, now I've got the pegs and strings installed, which is actually a really tedious process, because this is not the best material for making strings with. You can hear it just doesn't really vibrate very brightly, which is annoying. I had to go through like a little design process. So what I'm gonna do here is put it through the loop and tie a double square knot. Now, to get it strung at the top, you take a bolt, and right around where the loop is, that's where you want your knot to be. Because trust me, if you're using twine like this, it becomes less, it loses its tension as it ages. So you want it to be maybe not that far down. Maybe, okay, I am really a mess. Because I guarantee you're gonna get it there. You're gonna, if you set it so that the bolt is barely reaching there, you're not gonna have enough tension because the bolt isn't gonna be able to twist far enough. So you want to tie a double knot on this as well, otherwise it will start slipping. Maybe even a triple knot might be good. Let me try that. Make sure it's all the very bottom of the bolt. You don't want anything up there because that's going to get in the way of the tuning as it goes up and down on the bolt. Now, okay, don't do what I did because I'm an idiot and I didn't string it through here first. Wow, that was dumb. Oh, that's really, really excessively dumb. So another thing that helps to keep it from fraying when you're using really stupid material like twine for this instead of guitar string, I'm probably going to super glue the twine at the base to make sure that it doesn't slip. I do that up at the screws as well. Because I feel like the big issue is because there's so much tension, and the string isn't designed to hold a whole lot of tension, so it wants to slip. And with makeshift tuning pegs like this, they can't hold tension very well if it slips. I guess that's universal for a lot of strings, but other tuning pegs don't slip. So that's something to keep in mind for this project. So tie that. It helps to have enough extra bolt on the end to be able to slip on the knot. As you can kind of see on the end, these nuts are so close together that they kind of lock. So that means that you don't need to hold the nut as you're twisting it with the screwdriver to tune it. So you can just kind of do this and the tension will hold the nuts together. So we want this to be a whatever that note is. Why is this? It's really hard to tune this. It might snap and blind me. So the tuning is an issue. Also, that's kind of interesting. It's slowly flattening. Also, that's the other thing about a fretless like this, is because there's so much space between it, it means that you can't really get a half step above the initial fundamental, because the amount of distance it takes to depress it. It's shit. It's terrible. It's cool that I made this in a day. What have I learned from making this? Don't use this material as guitar strings, because it doesn't tune. What else have I learned? Don't use whatever this drywall material is as a material for a guitar. Learned that this system actually does kind of work. If it weren't for the fact that this detunes so easily, I think this would be fine. And also, I think the bridge needs to not be made out of metal, because it's, I don't know how well you can see this, but it's kind of wiggling around, and that's not really great. Yeah, the first partial, the first fret that you can really do with this one is major third. Yeah, the harmonics of this are not easy because there's so much distance here. I would need to have frets in place to be able to use this like a normal fretboard, because the issue is you're moving it so much that you're increasing the tension on the string by a significant factor by depressing it to the first spot. So that means that right here, close to this, the tension is way high if you try to fret this all the way down to the board. That's a fourth. And then if I move further down, which normally on a guitar makes things higher, it goes down to a third, which is a half step. So by moving forward, you're going down a half step. So you don't really have the ability to fully do a second, either diminished or natural. I've forgotten the music theory terms. But up here in the middle of the board, it should be fine. So it quit out my recording, which is annoying, but basically what I was saying is that I had fun with this project. Took up a whole day to do, but the strings don't work. If you pluck them long enough, they will detune, which is not what you want from a guitar string. So if you had some proper guitar strings, maybe you can try this. For the time being, this is it. If you learned something from this, then maybe leave a like, consider subscribing. Yeah, that's it for this video. These nuts